Welcome to the absolute garbage game review of Burnout 3 for the PS2 and Xbox. This game released in 2004 to critical acclaim and is regarded as one of the greatest arcade racing games of all time. We shall see if time has been kind, or if the genre has evolved so much in the last 19 years that modern games leave Burnout 3 crashed and forgotten at the side of the road. Let us begin. The Burnout series started from humble beginnings with the first title released in 2001. It was a simple arcade racer that had a single outstanding feature, being the detailed car crashes. The next year Burnout 2 upped the ante in every way with better graphics, more cars, an amazing main theme, and the newest addition being the over-the-top but crazy fun Crash Junctions. This mode sees players taking turns to cause the most damage to as many cars as possible. Launch your car violently into an intersection or highway and watch the pile-up unfold. A couple of years later, Burnout 3 is released and cranks up the vehicular insanity to 11. The main single-player mode, World Tour, is huge and varied. It's got the standard racing game events like single races, time attack, and multi-race Grand Prix. But now, there is a new road rage mode that pits you against 5 aggressive racers that you must take down. You can achieve this by ramming into them, causing them to crash, psych them out by driving close behind them, and finally my favourite one, which I often overlooked in 2004, the after-touch takedown. Now after you yourself either crash or get taken down, hold your wrecked vehicle mid-air and direct it into the oncoming racers to take them down. I love it how the time slows as you're barreling down the highway and just clip one of the racers trying to dodge the carnage. The Crash Junctions are also next level here, with the cash multipliers that add a bit more strategy into the mode, making you plan out the best route to achieve the most amount of damage caused. There's so many more vehicles here as well, ranging from the zippy compact hatches, tough muscle cars, although I'm not sure if this one should be classed as a muscle car, GT cars, open wheel races, and even these heavyweights like trucks and buses. Even the slowest cars feel fast with the incredible sense of speed in this game that a lot of even newer games do not possess. The handling is obviously incredibly realistic, where you can drift around every corner and burn nitro for an entire lap or even a full race. One feature that some modern racing games are lacking is a sense of progression as you start your motorsport journey. In something like Forza Horizon 5, you start the game thinking you'll be gifted a more modest car like a base model Fiesta or Golf. Instead, you're given a selection out of these beasts. Burnout 3, on the other hand, starts with the compact series with just these cars unlocked. It takes a few races and you'll unlock more cars in the category, then later the muscle series, coupe series, and so on. To unlock a lot of these you actually have to win races, or earn a certain amount of money in the Crash Junction, or by how many cars you take down. The main point I'm making here is you have to earn these cool or exotic cars. There's no XP, loot boxes, or wheel spins in sight. I hadn't played this game properly in maybe 10 years or so, and after putting in about 12 or so hours, I believe Burnout 3 is still a joy to play with the close races, the varied modes, and the art of the many different types of takedowns. I'm going to have to activate Ultra Nitpick mode to find some garbage aspects of the game. So here goes. No manual transmission. Yeah, okay. This is no sim racing game that tracks your fuel usage, tyre wear, or engine temperature. But Burnout 1 and 2 had the option of manual transmission. Why not this game? Only 2 camera views. You wouldn't expect a highly detailed cockpit view, however a hood or adjustable chase cam wouldn't have hurt, would it? Unlocking new cars screen. Every time you unlock a vehicle, you are stuck watching this little cutscene. You could unlock 3 in one race and then be forced to watch this garbage for each one individually. The soundtrack is very of its time and has aged way more than any of the other aspects of the game. Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, and other bands I've never heard of.
Hey, I think they liked us.
Have the Rolling Stones killed?
Oh, sir, those aren't...
Do as I say!
Would have been much appreciated in the emo years of my life. Not these days though. And I feel like Need for Speed Underground, Midnight Club 3, and Flat Out 2 have far superior and memorable soundtracks, with the Best Soundtrack award for that generation going to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I don't know why EA couldn't get licensed vehicles for this game. They were able to for the Need for Speed series. Instead, we have to put up with these cheap, not a Skyline, not a Ford GT, and not a Mustang knockoffs. DJ Striker is loud, obnoxious,
Can you think of a more beautiful place to crash a car? Get to it.
and very mid-2000s edgy. He's annoying, but I have to admit he gives the game a bit of life and personality.
Who's flowing, the wheels spinning, and of course, vehicles flying. Island Paradise crash time again.
No names for the AI opponents. Driver 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who the fuck are these twats? Flat Out 2 had names and bios for its AI opponents, and that gave them a tiny bit of personality. If I saw Jack Benton ahead, I would go out of my way to spin him out, as he's usually at the pointy end of the grid at the end of each race. In Burnout 3, I have to remember which one of these pricks has the most championship points so I can take them out. Minimal paint options for vehicles. Most vehicles only have 3 colour options, and that is completely whack, don't you think? Gran Turismo 1 released in 1997 with hundreds of cars and many more paint options. Despite these garbage aspects and the improvements in technology to where racing games look like this these days, Burnout 3 is still a blast to play and just as fun causing carnage today as it was all the way back in 2004 when this masterpiece was playing in theatres. I give this game a score of amazing. Yeah, okay, it's not as memorable or groundbreaking as Resident Evil 4, but it stands beside it as one of my favourite games of all time.